morning and welcome to the virtual Greater Boston Church of Spiritualism on this wonderful September in the fall, almost fall I should say. Please join me in our opening prayer. Infinite Spirit, beloved God, we welcome you into our sacred hearts, our minds, our bodies, our homes. We ask that you fill us with light and love and peace and harmony so that we may move forward along our path of life. We ask that you bring to us our loved ones, our angels, our guides and teachers, so that we may feel the support that we have in life. Please bring them all to us today so that we truly understand that life and love continues into eternity and that we never walk alone. We give thanks for the knowledge that we are all one with you and all others. Amen. And now for an inspirational thought today, I'd like to share a poem that was written many years ago. I saw it in the Dear Abby column. I know I'm aging myself, I think. But it's very pertinent for today, and it was back then as well. It's called Just for Today. Just for today, I will be happy. I will not dwell on thoughts that depress me. If my mind fills with clouds, I will chase them away and fill it with sunshine. Just for today, I will accept what is. I will face reality. I will correct those things that I can correct and accept those that I cannot. Just for today, I will improve my mind. I will read something that inspires me, requires effort, thought, and concentration. I will not be a mental loafer. Just for today, I will make a conscious effort to be agreeable. I will be kind and courteous to those who cross my path, and I'll not speak ill of others. I will speak softly and not interrupt when someone else is talking. Just for today, I will refrain from improving anybody but myself. Just for today, I will do something positive to improve my health. If I'm a smoker, I'll quit. If I'm overweight, I will eat healthfully. If only just for today. And not only that, I will get off the couch and take a brisk walk, even if it's only around the block. Just for today, I will gather the courage to do what is right and take responsibility for my own actions. Just for today, let us together live in peace and harmony with love. It's a wonderful poem. I'm going to put them up on the website so you can read it over and over again. And now if you join me in our healing prayer, which is going to be on the screen before you. I ask the great unseen healing force to remove all obstructions from my mind and body and to restore me to perfect health. I ask this in all sincerity and honesty, and I will do my part. I ask this great unseen healing force to help both present and absent ones who are in need of help and to restore them to perfect health. I put my trust in the love and the power of God. Now it's time for our healing meditation, a time where we can relax, let go of the stress and the strains of life that we have been dealing with throughout our week. It gives us a time to give ourselves a gift of peace, a gift of connection, a gift of receiving that healing love that is always around you. So I ask you to just close your eyes and take a nice deep breath and make yourself comfortable wherever you are. And just breathe. And as you breathe in, imagine a beautiful light flowing in with your breath. And as you breathe out, release. Release the stress, release the strain, release the tightness that may be present within that physical body. And just allow yourself to focus on the breath, bringing yourself into this sacred moment of now, breathing, relaxing, and allowing that light to gently flow deep into your body, filling your lungs, moving through your bloodstream, reaching into every cell, into every muscle, every bone, every joint. moving through every organ and every system so that your entire body is filled with light. From the top of your head to the tip of your toes, as you remember that that healing light of God is always here, and that presence of God exists in the present moment. So as we let go of the past and let go of the future, and we settle into this present moment of now, we can feel that divine healing light flooding our bodies, flooding our minds, flooding our spirits, surrounding us, filling us, and bringing to us exactly what we need. Just breathe and allow that light to flow gently, flowing to exactly where you need it, flowing through your mind, clearing away the negative thoughts, the less than thoughts, the limiting thoughts, and filling your mind with the knowing that you are loved beyond measure, that you are connected to your source in every moment of every day, that you are an eternal being, a spark of God. Allow that knowing to not only fill your mind, but fill your body. Fill your energy field, fill your emotional body, fill every part of you with that knowing that you are connected to your divine source. Feel that light flowing into your heart as your heart expands and opens with love, releasing everything to the divine presence, letting go of anything that would get in your way from being love. And as you breathe, just feel your entire field expanded in love. Feel that love bringing to you what you need to be whole, complete, and perfect now, in this moment, to know that you're loved exactly as you are, in this moment, and all others. As you breathe and settle into your own spirit, feel yourself being lifted, guided, and carried to a place of pure light and love. Imagine yourself in the orchards of God's garden. Imagine yourself moving through a place that is filled with light, filled with love, that every particle brings that love and that light of God into the atmosphere. As you move along, you move into this orchard, and you walk along these rows and rows of beautiful fruit trees. And you see all the fruit on the branches, ready to be ripened. And all around these trees are beautiful angels whispering to that fruit to grow, bringing to that tree the support it needs so that it may produce the fruit that is deep inside it. See the rays of the light that shine down upon every tree, every branch, and every piece of fruit. Know that every single piece of fruit is receiving what it needs to be perfect when it is ready to drop and be given of itself. As we stand in this orchard, we can feel the rays of God's light shining down upon us, nurturing our gifts. We can feel the angels all around us whispering to us, whispering to the gifts that live within us to grow, to rise, to be. And know that the gifts that are within you will come forth at the perfect moment, just as the fruit on these trees will fall at the exact perfect moment for them. We are all guided and supported in this light and this love. We are never alone, and we can feel that support all around us, knowing that all the magnificence within us is ready to come forth in its own time. Just take a nice deep breath and feel the wonder and joy at what lies within you, what magnificent gifts are ready to rise forward from you in this new season that is coming. And know that God's love and the support of the angels and all of your loved ones are around you. Feel your loved ones gathering in this beautiful orchard, filled with joy, filled with laughter, supporting you, cheering you on to be who you were created to be. And begin to move through this orchard into these magnificent fields that are filled with light. As you stand in this field of light, feel it filling every aspect of your being, and feel that light shining out from you, so that it not only fills you, it fills your home, it fills everyone around you. As we are connected to that healing source of God, all of that light can flow through us unobstructed. And so we send it out from this place of connection. We send this healing light out to all of our family and friends, to all those who are sick and suffering, to all those in the world that are lost in hatred and ignorance, to all those who are in pain, lost in their hurt. We send this light out throughout our globe so that it reaches every heart, every mind, and every spirit, bringing peace, bringing harmony, bringing love, so that every being will know that they are loved, and that the light and the love within them will rise, and their gifts will come forth, so that they may share them with the world, just as the trees in the orchard, the flowers in the garden, the weed in the fields, all will come forth at the proper time and share its magnificence, share its life force with all who need it. As we take in this light and love, we allow it to nurture us, to bring up within us all the light and love that we have, so that we may carry it into our world wherever we go, and share it with everyone we meet by opening our hearts in love and kindness and understanding and in compassion, by being the peace that we want to see in our world, and know that we have the support around us that we need to make this possible. Let us together hold the vision of our world filled with light, and that healing light bringing to every soul what they need, so that we may carry the vision of our world healed, moving forward into a beautiful place of harmony and ease. Let us feel our world at peace, feel ourselves at peace. Let us hold that in our heart as we gently bring ourselves back to the room, carrying with us the knowing that we have all that we need within us to rise and shine and be exactly who we were created to be. Always supported, always loved. As we ground ourselves back to the room, feeling the clothes on our body and the chair beneath us, let's take another nice deep breath. And as you open your eyes, smile and shine that light and share that peace that I hope you have taken in to support you on your spiritual path of life. And now if you join me in reading principles, which will also be on the screen. In spiritualism, we have no rules or regulations, no dogmas or creeds, but we do have a set of principles that help us to live our lives in the best possible way, so please read them with me. We believe in infinite spirit and that God is infinite spirit. We believe that the phenomena of nature, both physical and spiritual, are the expression of infinite spirit. We affirm that a correct understanding of such expression and living in accordance therewith constitute true religion. We affirm that the existence and personal identity of an individual continue after the change called death. We affirm that communication with the so-called dead is a fact, scientifically proven by the phenomena of spiritualism. We believe that the highest morality is contained in the Golden Rule: whatsoever ye would that others should do unto you, do ye also unto them. We affirm the moral responsibility of the individual, and that they make their own happiness or unhappiness as they obey nature's physical and spiritual laws. We affirm that the doorway to reformation is never closed against any human soul, here or hereafter, and we affirm the precepts of prophecy and healing contained in the Bible are divine attributes proven through mediumship. And if you'd like to explore those in a deeper way, you can sign up for our intro class, which is starting on Tuesday, September 22nd. Just check our website, and it's a wonderful 8-week class that will be on Zoom. And please, if you want to join us, do so quickly, because we're only going to have 20 students in the class. So sign up now. So today, I want to talk a little bit about preparing for the new season. Next week, on the 22nd, we'll be welcoming in the season of fall. And as we look at that, we think about fall as really a time of change, isn't it? And I look back, and what I'm amazed at is that this week actually marks that we have not been in our church for 6 months, that we have been doing these video services for 6 months. My, how time flies. But we can see that we're moving forward, and we're hoping that things will continue to go forward as we move with the flow of the energy of the seasons. You know, next week is the autumn equinox, and that's when the sun is just above the equator, and light and dark are equal. You know, last summer we celebrated the summer solstice, which was the longest day of the year. The sun was at its highest and brightest. And from then till now, it's gotten a little bit darker every day. And now we've come to that place where light and dark are balanced, are equal. And they teach us that it's important for us to have balance in our lives, isn't it? And it's also important for us to recognize that everything has a purpose. The light and the dark have a purpose. We wouldn't know light if we didn't know dark. So we need the duality of everything in this world, because we live in a world of duality. But we learn to use it in the best possible way. I often teach in my classes about the aspects of personality and astrological traits. And we all have them. We all come in a certain way. And we learn to use these traits, hopefully, in the best possible way. But the thing to remember is the traits that we bring in with our personality, there are two sides to each trait. There's a positive and there's a negative. And unless we're living with conscious awareness and paying attention, that negative side can rule us instead of the positive one. So part of our spiritual development is really looking at who we are and what influences us in our choices and in our reactions. And some of that influence comes from our personality and our astrological traits. We all know what kind of traits we have. And if we look at them and we can find the positive side, then we're ahead of the game. We're working with our tools. Spirit told me many years ago that our personality, our astrological sign, all of those are tools in our toolbox to help us to maneuver through this physical life. We need them to accomplish what we've come to do. So pay attention as we're preparing to get ready for this fall season. What are the traits in your personality? What are the traits that come from your astrological sign that you know about yourself? And try to see the positive and the negative. I know I have learned in my life that I have a stubborn streak. I can be very, very stubborn. Well, that's the negative side. The positive side is that I will stick with something and never quit. So when we look at, is the stubbornness ruling me? Because believe me, it's gotten in my way many times. Or is my stubbornness turned into that aspect of myself that I can use positively to finish a job or sticking with a project? Take, for example, someone who has a wonderful sense of focus and they can really zero in like a needle nose focus on a goal. That's a wonderful gift, right? That's the positive side of it. It helps them to accomplish. But what if through that needle nose focus they're blind to everybody and everything around them? And then they're steamrolling over people to get that goal accomplished. Well, that's not good either. So that's why we look at the aspects of our personality and our traits, especially at this time of year, so that we can really take the best of us and live with conscious awareness. Am I using the positive side, or am I letting that negative side rule me? So that's important, isn't it? The other thing about the fall is a time of harvesting, and it's a time of planting. Last spring, we planted some wonderful seeds, hopefully, within us. And now is the time for us to bring them forward if we nurture them throughout the summer. So if we planted things like love and peace and harmony within us, and we nurtured those things and we took time to really develop those things over the summer, then now in the fall, they're ready to just come forward, and we'll be living with such love in this new season. But it's also a time to plant. And when we look at farmers, when they harvest their crop, what do they do with the soil before they plant the next crop? We're always planting ahead. But they till the soil, don't they? They till the soil, they clean it out of all the old stuff, and then they plant the new seeds. So we're called to do that in the fall season, to till the soil of our souls, to clean out the things that get in our way, that stop us from being who we really are. So we want to look at that and really try to see what is getting in my way if I'm not loving, what's stopping me, if I'm not being generous or I'm not being compassionate, what is in the way of that? What do I need to clear out? And while I was preparing this sermon, I kept hearing these words from Spirit, and that what they were saying was, separate the wheat from the chaff. That's what I kept hearing to bring that thought forward. And that separating the wheat from the chaff is really getting rid of what is no longer useful. And I went to look up the passage that this came from to see what Spirit was trying to tell me. And here's the passage that's been written in a few different ways, but this is the one I feel that's pertinent. And his winnowing fork will clear his threshing floor, gathering the wheat into the barn and burning up the chaff with a fire that never goes out. In order to understand that passage, we have to have an understanding of ancient farming, right? Winnowing is a process where they would take all the harvest, the grains, and they'd put it in a big basket and they'd throw it up in the air. And the wind would blow away the chaff, which is the unusable husk part of the seed. And then the grain that was usable was heavier, and it would fall back into the basket. So that makes sense, doesn't it? You throw it up in the air, and you let the wind blow away what's no longer good, and you end up with what you need. So, in simple terms, how do we do that? Do we jump up in the air? Not really. But what we can do is connect to the divine and surrender ourselves and ask that all that no longer serves me be removed. You know, at the end of the day, I'd like to sit down and say, if I have any fears and worries holding on to me, I'm going to give them to God. I'm going to put them in the for God to do box. I know I've talked about that before. So at the end of the day, we give up our fears and we surrender those, our worries, to God, and we turn them over. But what if in the morning we throw ourselves up to God, every part of us, and ask that anything that gets in our way of being the light beings, the beautiful beings that we are, be removed and transformed, and to bring back only what will serve. Feel the freedom of that. If you can imagine yourself, I just imagine my whole self going up and then coming back the way I need to be today, just for today. Because these are spiritual practices that we need to do every day. Because if we don't, we forget who we are. So a lot of my sermons throughout this whole time has been giving you little bits of spiritual practices that can help you in your life. And I'm sharing the things that really work for me. As if I give myself to God each and every day, then I know that I am being used in the best possible way, that my spirit is rising and able to give love and light to other people. Excuse me. Connecting to God, connecting to our infinite source, to divine love, it really doesn't matter what the word is. But when we do connect to that divine source, it awakens the fire in our souls, the unending burning fire of love. And that's the fire I think the passage was talking about. The fire that never goes out is the fire of God that lives within us. The fire that we need to fuel our lives, to fuel our passion, to fuel our joy. If we can awaken that fire, we can bring our passions to life in this world. And when we're living our passions, we're happy. Just like that. Just for today, I'll be happy. If we can find those passions, if we can ignite the spark within us and bring forth something wonderful within us, then we're happy. We're living our passions. We're living our joy. And we're bringing to the world what is needed. Understanding the energy of the season of fall, knowing that the season supports us, our spiritual growth, and helps us to move forward in so many wonderful ways. We embrace that energy that's coming. I'm talking about it today because we're preparing for this. It comes in next week. And we can be open to embrace this new season. Harvesting and planting, releasing and clearing, beginning anew, cleaning and clearing. It's no surprise that in the fall, when that cool air starts coming in, that we want to go and clear out all the clutter. We want to clean out our houses, right? We get that energy that we wished we had all summer. But we do get that energy because the season's behind us, and uncluttering and clearing and preparing ourselves. Because the funny thing is, when we unclutter and clear our physical environment, our internal environment gets cleared as well. Think about it. If you go through a room and get rid of all the clutter and you walk in, suddenly you can take a nice deep breath. And you didn't even realize that you weren't really breathing properly in that room before. You were shallow breathing because there was so much stuff that was taking away from your energy. So take time this fall to unclutter, to clear away your physical environment, and to clear away your spiritual environment as well. Listen to your soul this season. Now, school starts in September, and there's all kinds of excitement and joy, kids going back to school. This year is much more challenging than before, but you can still feel that energy and joy of excitement of going back into new learning. And it's not just children, it's adults, it's all of us. We never stop learning. We always are exploring. So this season, think about, what would you like to explore? What brings you joy? What would you like to learn about? We all learn in different ways. Some of us will take a course on Zoom. Some of us will read books on a subject. Some of us will just think about it and contemplate it and then go and try it out. So learn in your own way, but find something that awakens joy within your soul. Think about, imagine what would bring you joy. I heard one a long time ago. This person said, if you want to find your passion and joy, imagine yourself standing in a very busy airport. And there are two people having a conversation. What would they be talking about that you would have to jump into that conversation? And if you can find that, you'll find your passion. You'll find your joy. So maybe we don't know what that conversation would be about. But spend time imagining what they're talking about. And imagining what it would mean for you, for your soul, if you got involved in different things. If you learned about different things this season. Fall is a wonderful time of exploration. So let the season's energy support you. Prepare for a great season. Embrace a great season. Do your best. And live in alignment with who you really are as a part of God. We are all sparks of God, here to set the world on fire with love. Each and every one of us has that fire within. And that fire grows and burns brightly when we stay connected to our infinite source. So try it. Give everything up to God. And know that all you need will be within you to live your best life ever. And if you want a quick reminder about fall and what its purpose is, the F stands for fire up your soul with God love every day and release everything else. The A is act from love all day in every way. L is for let go of everything that is not love. And L is live in and from love all the time. Very simple. And if you live by that, you can't go wrong. So God bless you. And we'll see you next week when it really is going to be fall. And now we'll have a musical selection. Enjoy.
The music of House of the Rising Sun, which was arranged by the Blind Boys of Alabama.
Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. 'Twas grace that taught my heart to feel, and grace sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see. Amazing grace, how sweet the sound that saved a wretch like me. I once was lost, but now am found, was blind, but now I see.
It's time for spirit messages, a time where I will connect to the spirit world and bring through to you exactly what they're trying to bring. I'll bring their evidence, I'll bring their love, but mostly I'll bring their wisdom. Whenever I work with the spirit world, I always ask them to share their wisdom with me, because when they do, they're not only helping their own loved ones, but they're helping everyone who hears it. And we all can learn from what all of these wonderful spirits have learned in their lives. So that is my joy as a medium, to share their wisdom so that everyone may be helped. If you recognize a spirit communicator, please let me know. I love to get the emails. I thank everyone who sent them that they've recognized their loved ones, because it's very difficult as a medium when you're not present in the room to know that I've made that connection to that individual soul. That oftentimes they come in groups, so if you're recognizing pieces of your loved one, know that they're here and they're coming in together to try to reach as many people as possible. So thank you for being here and opening your hearts and welcoming your loved ones, because remember, they're with you, and they're just communicating through me. So I'm going to see who's here. Okay, so as I blend with the first spirit of today, I feel like I have a gentleman with me. He feels very proper as he comes in. I feel like he would have had glasses, and I feel like this would have been something he would have done to fix his glasses and make sure everything was proper and straight on. I feel long legs with this gentleman, so I feel like he's rather tall. And I also feel he's an older gentleman, and I feel like he's coming in as a grandfather would. That's the sense that I'm getting. He's grandfather to someone here. I feel like I'm in another country with this gentleman, and I feel like he's well educated and very successful in life, because he comes in with a suit, and I feel like he's very proper in how he dresses, and he knows just how to present himself. So I feel like he would have been someone who would have been looked up to in the community or in the business world, because I feel like he could be standing here talking and telling people and giving advice to people and teaching. So I feel like he was someone who would have talked to many people in his life, and he was sought after for his wisdom and his intelligence. He's bringing me this sense of later in life, and I feel like him on a big porch. I feel like I'm definitely not in this country. I feel like I'm in South America somewhere, but I feel like I've got a great expanse of land around me, but I have this really big, beautiful open porch that I'm sitting on, and I'm purveying my land. So I feel like he would have owned land and been very proud of the land that he had. But I do feel like as he's coming in with his intelligence, he's bringing that intelligence back to me. And I feel like he's talking specifically to his granddaughter, who I feel like he's wanting her to use the intelligence that she has to recognize how smart she is and how much she has to offer. That sometimes she doesn't see in herself what others see in her. And I feel like he really wants to reach out to her and let her know that he sees her light, he sees her intelligence, he sees her value, and he wants her to value herself as much as he values her. And the sense that I'm getting as I'm asking him for what he learned in his life is that oftentimes we don't see ourselves as others see us. We don't see the goodness that we do in life. And he's saying, I never realized the impact I had on people, but I found out later that I had a positive impact on many, many people. And that surprised me because I just did my thing. I just showed up and I did what I was supposed to do, and I was very serious a lot of the time about what I was doing, and I was really focused on the goal. So I wasn't aware that I was influencing other people in a good way. And he said, I was glad to find it was in a good way and not a bad way. And so he does have a good sense of humor. But he said, we don't often realize that we are impacting everyone around us. And he wants his granddaughter especially to know that she has a wonderful impact on the people around her. Just being with her makes people's lives better. And he wants her to know that about herself, but also to let her know that he sees that and that other people see it, and that she should feel good about herself and to continue on her path of learning. I feel like he's showing me her with books and learning and always searching for the next thing. He said, never stop searching, never stop learning. There's so much for you to learn, but that's just part of life. And there's no end. And he says, don't keep looking for that end result. Just keep going. Because no matter how far you go, there's always something more to learn. And that's what I think he wants us all to know. There's never an end to our learning. But as we are choosing our learning, it becomes fun. He's saying learning and going to school and having to learn things that you haven't chosen isn't always fun. He had his fair share of studying heavy books that he didn't like, that was very boring. And he said, I did it anyway. But he said, you're at a point where you can learn what you want to learn. And that's such a great blessing. So enjoy the learning, enjoy the process of taking in new information and making it your own and sorting through what works for you and what doesn't. He's really very happy to be around you, and I feel like he keeps guiding you toward different areas that might add to the things that you've already learned. So know that he's very much around you, and he's very excited about the new things that are coming into your life, and I feel like he loves you very much. And I'm trying to get a sense of how close you were, and I feel like there's a great distance. So I don't know whether you passed when you were very young, but I feel like there's not that close physical connection, but there's definitely a spiritual connection of love. So know that you are loved greatly by the spirit world and by all who know you. And keep up the good work. I leave you with his blessings and lots of love. Thank you. Very nice gentleman. And a gentleman he was. Okay, I did say that, yeah. And let's see who else is here I have a very bubbly woman who's coming in. I feel like I want to get on my toes and bounce around. So she's coming in with a lot of energy, a lot of joy. She would have been a mover and a shaker. I feel like she's always on the move. She's kind of got that nervous energy. I'm cleaning, I'm jumping up. If somebody comes to her house and they put the glass down, she's right away over there cleaning up the little round thing that goes under the glass. So I feel like she's always on the move. She never let herself relax. So she's got this nervous energy, and I feel like she did all her life. That things she worried a lot. There are a lot of things that she held on to, and she's bringing me a sense of some issues with her lungs, and I'm struggling to breathe as she got older. So I feel like in her younger days, I know she was a smoker, and she thought that it was helping her nerves, but really it didn't. It just sort of went along with her nerves, she says. But she thought it was good for her, so she kept smoking. And it definitely wasn't. It definitely hurt her in the long run, because I feel a lung disease like emphysema and a real difficult time breathing as she got older, and life became a struggle. Doing anything became difficult, because she said everything was hard to breathe. And it took away a lot of her happiness, because she wasn't able to do the things she always did. I feel like she's talking about her children, and I'm seeing at least 2 boys around her, and I feel like she loved her boys, and she kind of favored the boys. I feel like she had girls also. There were girls around her, but I feel like she would have favored the boys for some reason. She's telling me that. And she's showing me a time where she felt she could talk to you. And I feel like she's talking to her son now, saying, you brought me great comfort, and you brought me great joy. You'll never know how much you brought to me. I feel like there was a lot of love and a lot of caring and a lot of support for her and around her passing. I feel like she's saying, my life wasn't easy. It was tough, and I had to be tough in most of the years. And she said, when I got older, life got easier, and then I got sick. So I feel like her life was really, a big part of it was a struggle. And she's saying, you have no idea, she's talking to her son, how much you brought to me and how much you made my life worthwhile. And there's just a lot of love and a lot of light that comes through her for you. And I feel like she wants you to know that. And as I'm asking her what she learned in her life, I feel like she's wanting to let you know that she learned that you just have to keep going, that sometimes life is really hard. And sometimes you have to just climb over the obstacles and keep going. Not to give up and not to give in. When things aren't going your way, just stop. Just stop, take a break, take a breather, and wait a minute, because things always change. And she said, and that was the one constant in her life, that was always change. Something always was happening, and something was always changing. And she said, if I waited long enough, things got better. And so I just hung on. And she showed me a cat. She showed me a picture of a cat hanging on the drapes with the claws. But she said, sometimes that was my life. I just had to hang on like the cat did to the curtain. She said, you just hang on. And you just know that things will change. And whatever you need will come to you eventually. So she's saying, hang on and know that there's good things coming. And I feel like she's talking to everybody, with everybody being kind of down over this pandemic and being quarantined and running around with masks on. And she's laughing and saying, you already have your Halloween masks, so you're all set. And she said, you got to look at the bright side of life, and you got to have fun with it. So continue having fun with it. Continue finding those little places where you can laugh and have fun and enjoy. But know that change is always happening, and there's great changes right around the corner. So just hold on. Even if you feel like that cat with the fur up, hang on, and you will relax again. Things will be calm again. Things will get smoothed over again. Just wait. Sometimes it takes a little bit longer, but that's what she learned. And I know that she wants to send lots of love to her family, all of them, and a special thank you to her son, because she's winking at him, and I know that he knows she's there. And I leave you with his blessings, her blessings, and lots of love. And great sense of humor this lady has. No matter how life hit her, she could laugh, and she's bringing laughter to you. So laugh it up and enjoy life, and wait for those changes. They'll be good ones. I leave you with her blessings. Lovely lady. Thank you so much. Yeah. Okay, I feel like I have another gentleman coming in. We're tagging today. This gentleman feels like he would be a father to someone that's watching. I feel like he's not too tall. He's kind of an average build and height. I feel like I would have, as he was younger, he had a really good head of hair, but I feel like it's thinning on the top as he got older. But not too badly. If you looked at the front, you wouldn't know. So he says, had that little spot in the back, but couldn't really see it too well. That's what happens, he says, when he laughs. But I feel like he has darker hair, and I feel like he was a very handsome man. And he was handsome when he was young, and he was handsome when he was older as well. He's coming in, I'm feeling like he's around 60s as he's coming in. And he's saying, no, I looked pretty good for my time. I feel like he was in good shape too, that he did take care of himself, that he liked to be active. I feel like he's on the go most of the time. I feel like he's got boots on, so he's bringing me these construction boots. So I feel like he would have walked around jobs in these boots, because I feel like as I'm walking the jobs, I know how to do all the jobs, but I'm sort of telling people what to do at this point. So I feel like he would have been in construction, and he would have been a foreman or a boss telling people how to do their job. But he had a good way about him, and he's laughing. He said, I could tell people how to do something, and they took it when they were doing something wrong, because I had a good way of talking to people. And he said, and that's what I learned in my life, that you have to know how to talk to people. You can't just blurt things out. And sometimes people aren't thinking before they say things that could be said very nicely. And he said, I had to learn that over my years. When I first started out, I didn't always say things the right way, and I got into a lot of fisticuffs when I was a kid. And he said, so I learned how to use my words. He said, and it took me quite a while to learn how to use my words. But when I got older, I couldn't be throwing those punches either. So I had to learn how to use my words. He's quite a character, because I feel like he had his day of getting into fights and arguments and things like that. But I feel like he worked his way up through some difficult times, and he made a good living, and he learned how to talk to people and how to get things done in the best possible way. And he's showing me his family now, and he's saying, I wasn't always perfect with them. I didn't always say it in the right way. And I could have been a lot more gentle in some of the things that I said to my kids. And he said, I want to apologize for that. He said, it's what I learned in my life, but I didn't fully learn it till I got over here, that you have to pay attention to the words you speak. And he said, and I didn't. I didn't always pay attention to the words I spoke. and sometimes they came out wrong. And he said, I'm sorry that I didn't say enough I didn't say enough in support of you. He said, I should have been more supportive, and I should have told you the right way that you were doing things instead of just pointing out when you were doing things wrong. I sort of skipped over when you did things fine, you didn't hear from me. And when you didn't do things fine, that's when you heard from me. He said, that was a mistake. If I'm going to tell you when you do things wrong, I should have told you when you did things right. And he said, I learned that, and I was wrong. And he said, you'd never hear me say that if I was alive. So I feel like he wasn't one to admit when he was wrong. But he is now, and he's apologizing, and he's saying, please, learn from my mistakes. Listen to those who love you around you, and make sure you praise them when they're doing well, so that you're not always reprimanding. He said, that was my mistake. It's what I thought I was supposed to do, but I know I should have praised you more, because you always did things wonderfully well in my eyes, and I just didn't tell you so. So he's coming in to say, I'm proud of you. I'm proud of the men you have become. So I feel like I'm talking to his sons especially. I feel like he was really hard on his sons, and he will only because he wanted the best for them. So I feel like he's coming in with apology, but with learning, and with so much love and so much pride for who you are becoming, because he says, you're never finished, you're always becoming. He said, I'm always becoming, and I'm in spirit. I'm still becoming. So he said, enjoy the becoming. Enjoy the growth that's all around you. And I feel like he would have had issues in communicating, which is why it keeps clogging up my throat for me. But I feel like he's trying really hard to get that communication of love to you in many different ways. And he's saying, clear out your throats and get the words of love out there. If you're going to say one thing, you got to say the other, and keep things in balance, he said. So sharing everything from your heart is good. And I leave you with his blessings and lots of love. And I have one more lady that I just want to bring in really quickly. I feel like she's would have been someone who would have went to church, because I feel like she's coming in dressed for church. She's got her little hat on, she's got her gloves on, she's got her bag, and she's all dressed up. And she would have been someone that would have dressed up for church, like in the old days, she says. Nowadays, they just wear whatever they want. And she would not have liked that at all. And she'd definitely come in and ask a grandmother, and she's talking about how you have to dress for success. You know, you dress appropriately for things. And she said she always did. She always made sure she had the right attire on, she had the right outfit. And she said, but I didn't always pay attention to what was going on inside of me. So she says, now that I'm on the other side, I get a whole different view. And I can look at someone who may be dressed so terribly in my view, but I can see their soul, and I can see the beauty of their soul, and I can see the light and the goodness that shines from them. And now I know what really matters. It's what's inside that counts, not what's on the outside. She said, but it does help to dress for success. If you want to feel good about yourself, wear the things that make you feel good. She said, I wore the little hat and gloves and my suit all nice and ironed. She said, that made me feel good. But you need to put on what makes you feel good. And that is going to be different for everyone. But wear the clothes that make you feel alive and great and beautiful, because you are. And so you need to feel that and let it come from the inside, and then pour out in what your attire is. So she's saying, dress up for life, dress for success, but dress in the way you feel successful, you feel beautiful, you feel good. And that's the most important. Don't dress for other people, dress for you. And she said, That's something that I learned that's important, because when you feel good about yourself, the whole world feels good about you. And so she's coming in with lots and lots of light and love and lots of encouragement and peace and joy for the new season. I feel like she's excited as well that there are changes coming. And I know we're all sitting on the edge of our chairs waiting for the good changes to come. And Spirit, they're all telling us they're coming. Just be patient. Hang on. So I leave you with her love and blessings and so much joy. Thank you. So we thank all of the spirits who have come through from the highest side of life to touch you and to share their wisdom. We know that there's not enough time to bring all of the wonderful spirits that are here, but I know that they're there with you. So open your hearts, please. Take in their messages, take in their love, take in their peace, because they're really here to support us all. And each and every one of you has been touched by the love of Spirit today. So please open your hearts and send your love out to them, because they do get it. Send your questions. Tell them what you want to know. And know that they'll come back and bring you those answers in many different ways. It may be in a flower or a feather or a stone that shows up in your path. But they will work hard to get you the answers that you need. So give them thanks and know that the world of Spirit is always around to help us, to guide us, to lead us, and to love us. We're never alone. And now, before we close our service, just a couple of announcements. You can visit our website and see our new schedule. And don't forget to please donate. We can't pass the basket, but if you're watching the service, we really appreciate it if you'd make a donation to keep our church going, because eventually we'll need to be back in that physical space and we want it to be there for us. So please, we need your donations. Also, Medium's Night is returning. Used to be Medium's Day on Sunday afternoon. Now it's going to be, for the fall, Medium's Night. It's going to be the last Monday evening of the month from 7 to 9. It's going to be on Zoom. And so you'll watch your emails. I'll be sending all the information on how to book a reading with one of our mediums. You're going to have a chance to have a private reading. There'll be 20-minute readings, and they have to be scheduled in advance and paid for in advance. So I'm going to send out the email. Please make sure you're on our email list, and you will get all the information on how to sign up for a reading with one of our mediums. We have Denise Carver going to be with us also doing tarot readings, and that is Monday night, September 28th from 7 to 9. Booking must be in advance. Also, the intro class is starting Tuesday, September 22nd, and there are a few seats left. So if you haven't already let me know that you're coming, then please do send me an email if you were signed up in the spring class. And if you want to get in, there's a sign up on the website, and we'd love to have you. Also, Dominic Bogue will be doing a gallery in October, and also he'll be doing one of the sermons in October, and we'll be bringing other mediums or speakers in to do sermons as well, so it's not just me that you're listening to anymore. We're hoping to have other speakers who can send in their videos so that we can include them in the service. So we're working on doing as much as we can in the new fall season. The classes will begin on the 21st, 22nd, and 23rd. And if you want information, you can always email me. But check the website for all of our information. And please don't forget to subscribe and like the page so that you can see when we put new things up. But thank you so much for joining us, and please join me in our closing prayer. Infinite Spirit, beloved God, we give thanks for the love and the healing and the peace that we've received today. We ask that it continue to flow into us and through us and from us into our world, so that the changes that we're waiting for can flow forward and bring new health and new vibrations of light and love and wonderful fall energy into our world. We give thanks for your presence in our lives. Help us to be spirits of light. Help us to deliver the light and the love that is within us, and to do our part to create peace on earth. Amen. Have a great week, everyone. Thanks for joining us. God bless.